Are you thinking about moving to Park City, Utah, and you're wondering how much the cost of living or how much it actually costs to buy a property here? A lot of people have been calling me. I've probably had 11 calls in the last 3 days ever since they announced that Mayflower was now being operated by Deer Valley. People are in a panic and they want to buy property here. Most of the people that have called me have wanted vacation homes or second homes. They weren't actually relocating here. But there's one small problem. A lot of you guys that have been calling me or have been following me for a long time, you've been watching my videos from 3 years ago. And maybe you're missing kind of the budget, the pricing, because the pricing 3 years ago is not the same pricing today. And I would never want to make anybody feel bad for their budget. But at the end of the day, some of your budgets are not going to buy you anything in Park City. So, what I wanted to do was really just do an update to get people's expectations really in line with reality of what's happening in Park City, how expensive it does actually cost to buy into Park City. So, Park City prices. We're in 2023 now. If you've been watching some of my videos from 2 or 3 years ago, especially some of the videos where I was like, best places to buy something under a million, like that doesn't really exist anymore. Like $1 million buys you barely anything in Park City. If you have $1 million budget, you are for sure going to be having to buy something in Heber because it'll get you it doesn't get you much in Park City. Doesn't mean that there's not a possibility that you can't get something in Park City, but more likely than not, it's like 5% of what we have listed is under $1 million. And $2 million to $3 million is 40% of the listings. So that puts it a little bit in perspective for you. What you used to be able to buy for $1 million 2 years ago, you now need $2 million for. What you used to buy for $2 million, you now need $3 million. Even the Jordanelle area is getting really, really expensive. If you were smart and listened to me when I started making Skyridge videos, you wouldn't be in this position going, oh no, I can't buy something. I have to, like to buy into Skyridge, you need $3 million now. You didn't need that 5 years ago. And I've been making videos about the Jordanelle Parkway for 5 years now. The Jordanelle is absolutely exploding with new product, new development. And the sooner that you get in, the better you are going to secure that real estate price. If you wait 5 years down the line, you're going to be paying way more and you're not going to be able to choose your property. You kind of waive the right to be super picky because you waited too long. And now all the good properties, well, the best ones are scooped up with the view or the end lot or the bigger lot or the top floor or the corner unit or the end row townhome or the one with the spectacular views. So, something to keep in mind. I always tell people the longer you wait, the more you're going to pay. And if you have lots and lots of money, then maybe that doesn't matter. But if you don't want to be spending $4 million for a house, then we might be having a problem. So, Park City is really a tale of two cities, the 84060 and the 84098. The 84060 is everything in town. This is Old Town, Deer Valley, Park Meadows, Thames Canyon, Prospector, Park City Heights, this area. Okay. Then you have the 84098, which is Snille Basin. So we're going to talk about the 84060 first. So this is everything. It's really, really close to the village side of Park City Mountain Resort, Deer Valley, Park Meadows, Thames. You need Oh, does this hurt a little bit? Okay, so the median sales price for August was 3.587 million. That's based off of 8 closed sales. Now, if you want to get really granular and you want to go year over year and you want to do a neighborhood by neighborhood breakdown, at the end of this slide, I'll show you that that is absolutely possible. Like if you're like, Nicole, we want Park Meadows. That's all we've wanted for the longest time. What's happening in Park Meadows? That's all I want to know about. Then that's a discussion that we need to have specifically about that neighborhood. Because, like I've said before, Park City is very hyper local. Every single neighborhood is different. Sometimes one's popping, sometimes one's cooling off. And so it just kind of depends. So, for Park City limits, right? This is all those neighborhoods thrown together. This is for a single family house. So about 35 days on the market. Next, we will go to a condo or a townhome, right? So this is condo townhome. This is like a townhome where you have a garage and you get to park in your house. You get to park in the townhome. So this is 1.787. So also it's gone up a little bit. This is based off of 8 closed sales. It looks like things were going pretty quickly because median price was 0 days on the market. Again, if you want a more specific number for a specific subdivision, like you want to know what's happening at Fawn Grove and Lower Deer Valley, then you need to reach out to me. Next is condo multi-unit, which is stacked flats. This is hotel condo product. This is a condominium complex where you're going to have people above you, below you, to the side of you. You usually park either outside or you park in a shared garage. So the median price was $1,093,000. That's based off of 20 closed sales, 60 days on the market. Okay. For land, this is based off of 1 closed sale, but it's really not that far off. Land is super, super expensive in Park City, especially if you're buying in Deer Valley or Old Town or in the incorporated part of Park City, which is St. Mary's Church and Inn. Next, we have the Snyderville Basin, which is the 84098. This is Canyons Village. This is Old Branch Road, Silver Springs, Sun Peak, Trailside, Promontory, Glenwild, Silver Creek Village, Jeremy Ranch, Summit Park, Pinebrook, all of those areas, Kimball Junction. So if you look here, here's kind of a map. Okay. So median sales price for Snyderville Basin is 2.6 million. That's based off of 31 sales, 51 days on the market. Okay. So you need at least $2 million, at least $2 million to buy a single family home in the Snyderville Basin. Areas where you can get something still maybe for 1.5 would be Summit Park, Trailside, Highland Estates, maybe South Shore and Jeremy Ranch, and Lower Pinebrook, not Upper Pinebrook, lower. For a condo or a townhome, you're at 1.225. Jeremy Ranch is like 1.2 for a townhouse. Lower Pinebrook is like 1.2 for a townhome. Everything at Kimball Junction, like New Park Residences, those could be anywhere from 800K to 1.2. It just kind of depends on the residence, what subdivision it's in, and if it's been remodeled or updated or not. Again, that was 19 days on the market. For the multi-flats, right? The stacked multi-flats, 825 for a condo. So for a condo where you have a shared garage, okay, or you're parking outside, it was 825 as a median sales price, 56 days on the market, 13 closed sales. This is also hotel condo product in here. And again, this could be extremely a lot higher in the Canyons Village area, which it is because it's like $1,000 a square foot in Canyons Village because you have all of that new luxury you have the new luxury development out there. For land in Snyderville Basin, you're at 1.6. I've had so many people reach out to me for land lately. I don't know what says that I am like I specialize in land and I love going on rural dirt roads, but I do not. And, it's really, really, really hard to find an affordable piece of land. It's really, really hard. There is nothing in Park City for under 300K, nothing. There is in Summit Park. It's a different area. It's a different neighborhood. It's very woodsy. It's very steep. Gets a lot of snow. If you want to live in the woods and you want more like of a cabin type thing, that could be a good area. But again, I mean, realistically, you're not going to find anything if you don't, land is expensive. Land is very expensive. I'm just going to say that right now. And it's more expensive to build. I think people often are like, oh gosh, I don't have $1 million, but I'll buy a piece of land. Yeah, but if you're paying $500,000 for that piece of property, your home is going to be probably $1 million to $2 million because it's not cheap to build up here either. Now we have the Jordanelle. There's so much happening at the Jordanelle. This is the future of Park City, by the way. So the Jordanelle is going to be kind of Mayflower Lakeside, Keatley Ridge, Sky Ridge, Deer Mountain, Black Rock Ridge, Black Rock Luxury Resort, into Hideout where you have Deer Springs, Deer Waters, Shoreline, Claim. You've got Toohey, You have Hideout Canyon, you have Toohey, you've got Victory Ranch, you've got Benlock Ranch, then there's going to be Jordanelle Ridge, Heber's down over this way. This is going to be Mayflower Extel, this is Velvier, this is Mayflower Lakeside, right on the Jordanelle. This is into Park City. A lot is happening at the Jordanelle. It's not cheap to buy out here. So, single family home, you're at 3.7. This could be because there might have been some big sales in Toohey, but I would say you could expect to pay at about 2.5 million for a single family home out here. For a condo or townhome, again, you're at 1.2, pretty close to 1.3 for a townhome or a condo. There's Park's Edge, there's Deer Springs, there's Deer Waters, there's Wasatch Springs, there's the Rustler, there's Hideout Canyon, there's Claim. Claim is like 1.4 now for townhomes. You've got Shoreline, which is like 1.5 to 1.8. You have Sage Hen, which is like 1.9 for townhomes. Mayflower Lakeside is in the 2 millions for townhomes. Keatley Ridge is going to be starting at 2 million for townhomes. For a stacked multi-flat like Mayflower Lakeside, like a lot of these closed between 7 and 8 because people were buying these 2 years ago, right? Now construction's complete. So now a lot of them are starting to close. So people are closing on these, for 948,000, turning around selling them 3 days later for 1.250, 1.4. So I haven't told you before, we live in the best place on earth for appreciation, for long-term appreciation. Park City is a bubble. And the future, and Jordanelle is the future of Park City because there's just simply not a lot of places left to build in Park City. It's basically already developed. Unless a developer goes in to the village at Park City Mountain Resort, Lower Deer Valley at Snow Park, and the canyons and starts building on those parking lots, there's just not a lot of places left for any new developments. For land, you are 935 at the Jordanelle. Again, I've had a lot of people who are interested in Sky Ridge. They did not pull the trigger. They are now going to be paying either $200,000 or $300,000 more than when they first reached out to me a year or two ago. Sky Ridge was selling lots for like $275 5 years ago. And I was all over this. I wanted people to know about it. And then people don't start noticing about it for like 2 or 3 years later. And now it's like, oh, what's going on over there? And now it's like, yeah, the cheapest one was 500. And now the cheapest one's like 7. It's like 700K to 900K. If you're buying in Marcella, you can expect to pay about $3 million for a ski and ski out lot. Same with Velvier. These are not cheap lots. It's not cheap land or home sites. Soaring Hawk is going to be, the 5 to 6s. If you find a randomly really cheap piece of property and everything else around it is way more expensive, I always say red flag. That's a big red flag because A, it's either not buildable, it's seasonal access, it probably needs to be developed, it probably has no utilities connected, which means you become the developer and have to go in and do all the digging and move the dirt around and install all that stuff. And people always think they're getting like some smoking deal when there's like a really cheap lot when the majority of the lots are going for 900,000. There's usually a reason why it's so cheap. And it's not good. So that should raise a red flag in your mind. All right, let's talk about the Heber Valley because I'm getting lots of interest about Heber, lots and lots and lots of interest. So Heber is very big. Heber is a little different of a market than Park City. Park City is definitely more of a bubble. However, Heber's gotten really, really expensive. It's growing really, really fast, and it's in a transitional phase because it's still growing fast. There's still places to build. And it kind of like bleeds into the south side of Jordanelle a little bit with Jordanelle Ridge. You also have Midway, which is a huge fan favorite. People love Midway. They love Midway. But Midway is as expensive as Park City. So heads up. I always like to describe Heber as kind of like an upside down Y. So this is North Heber, right? Jordanelle is going to be over here. This is Center Street, this T right here. And then down here is Daniel. This is Charleston. This is Deer Creek Reservoir. Provo, Sundance is going to be over here. So you kind of have like the northeast side of Heber, which is going to be the most expensive area. This is Northfields. This is Two Creeks. This is Red Ledges, which is private gated community. And Midway is going to be more expensive. Now, as you tend to get more south, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, not always, but if you are buying something that's closer to Daniels, kind of by like the Heber Valley Airport, this area, the prices tend to be a little bit cheaper over here. You could probably find something for 7 or 8, maybe. And then East Heber is also really expensive. It's just more expensive. You can expect to pay at least like $1 million in this area too. And then I highlighted Timber Lakes because Timber Lakes is out in the sticks. There are some people that love this way of life. Timber Lakes is kind of similar to Tollgate in up by Silver Creek towards Wanship and Colville in a little bit away from Park City. Timber Lakes though is it's got paved roads for about a mile, and I've never been up here before because simply I'm just not the rural like land girl. I'm not the rural seasonal girl who sells lots of property up here. I'm the ski condo, townhome, home girl. I live minutes away from the Canyons Village. Okay. And I just sell more ski properties, not a lot of rural cabins like in Oakley or places that are dirt roads that have no cell service, that are gated, that are seasonal access, where you're going to be on a propane tank and you're going to be on propane and septic out here. Sister-in-law originally at one point was kind of looking in Timber Lakes at first because she's like, oh, it's so cheap out there. It's so cheap. It'd be so much easier to live there. And then she realized, oh, it's going to be 15-minute drive just to get to the kids to the bus stop every morning. And, she's like, and that's without snowy roads and snowy conditions. So something to keep in mind too, a lot of times when you see lower priced product, you want to make sure that it's actually not out in, I mean, some people want to live in the sticks. They want that isolated cabin up in the mountains. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. If that's the case, then maybe Timber Lakes, Brighton Estates, Tollgate, Summit Park would be somewhere that is not a rural feel, that you actually have like sewer connected. But you tend to get really rural in Heber. And some of the areas, because it's very, very country out here, you could be on propane and septic. So just something to know for people that are looking in Heber, because I've had to explain this a lot of times recently. So single family median price, you're at 949. So you're just a little bit under $1 million. That's 25 sale based off of 25 closed sales, 81 days on the market. Again, I always tell people, you can still find stuff in Heber for under $1 million, but you need at least $1 million for Heber. You need at least $1 million for Camas. You need at least $2 million for Park City if you want to be in the 84098. I would say 2.5 to 3, and up if you want to be in the 84060. And that would be same with the Mayflower, kind of the Jordanelle side over there. So a multi-flat over here is 421. This is like Village on the 12th. This is Ranch Landing. These are condominiums that are really similar to Powderwood, Crestview, Canyon Creek, Pinebrook Point in Park City. So have land out here, $399. So you're close to $400K for land out here. Again, you see something that's like $180,000 or $200,000, it's probably because it's out in the sticks. It's remote access. I don't know how your utilities are connected. It could be gated. It's probably a dirt road, and it's probably a seasonal gated community where people snowmobile to their house. So keep that in mind. If it's really, really cheap compared to a lot of the prices in the area, there's usually a reason why. So always look it up on a map, try to research the subdivision. Okay, I see why. Because it's a seasonal gated community way up there, and you're going to be on propane and sewer, septic. Maybe you might even have to dig a well, and the utilities may or may not be connected. So keep that in mind with rural land. Camas. So I haven't talked a lot about Camas. Camas is similar to Heber. It has a lot more ranches. It has really expensive ranches. Wolf Creek Ranch is incredible out here. It's a gated community. Every parcel is like 60 acres, and it's like kind of reminds me of like Yellowstone. Like if you want a big Texas sized ranch and you like Yellowstone, you want a big mountain mansion, and you don't want to see anybody, you want to be really secluded, that could be your area. However, the homes over there are like $10 million, right? It's expensive over there. Here's kind of the layout of Camas. You've got Oakley, you have Marin, there's Browns Canyon, there's Camas, there's Samick, there's Woodland, which is what I was talking about where Wolf Creek Ranch is, which, by the way, is 45 minutes from Park City. So not that close, right? And then you've got the Camas area. And this area is really starting to grow too. Hart Crossings is a really great new development out in Camas. They are not doing nightly rentals though, because they do not want it to be an Airbnb community, but they are those those townhomes are like 7, 8, and 9, and the single family homes are like 1, 5, and up. This is kind of the Camas area. Again, really, really rural. If you're looking up in this canyon, Weber Canyon, again, we start to get into the seasonal gated cabin community where you're snowmobiling, where there's a parking lot, where you're on septic, where you're on sewer. Again, like the rural land, um, which is, I don't deal with it a lot. I'll just be very honest with you. Not the rural land girl. We've got single family in Camas is about 800K. For the condo, there's a couple condo complexes. And out here, this was only based off of 2 closed sales. Again, Camas can actually be a lot more expensive for land. This is actually really low. So I don't know what it was. There's a couple new developments going on out here. One, the majority of the land is going to be 300 to 400. So I would head on paying something closer to 300 to 400 out here and up. And it just depends on what you're looking for, because they have properties that go for $1 million too, because you've just got these really nice, it's farmland, it's agricultural, it's people who want to have ranches and cows and animals. Again, it's very country living. Ship and Colville. So this is going to be Park City down over here. So if you kept going on this road right here, I-80, you'd end up going to Ogden and Snille Basin and Eden, which is Powder Mountain, and all these areas. This lake right here is Colville. And you also have Rockport Lake over here. There's Rockport Estates. That is generally a pretty affordable place to buy into right now. However, it's very undeveloped, and they like it that way. It's dirt roads. You don't have water up there. You're trucking your water in and out. You're trucking your garbage in and out. We have friends that live up there, and they have to fill up their water tank every single winter. You do have beautiful views of Rockport. It's a little bit more of a rural lifestyle again, which is why it's so affordable. And then you have Wanship. And then this cluster right here is actually Tollgate. Tollgate is half seasonal, half year round. The road goes back about 2 miles. It's paved, and then it turns to a dirt road. You have lots of winter parking lots. People snowmobile to their houses. Again, this is a cabin community, and there are a lot of people that like living up there, and they like that type of lifestyle. So it just depends on what kind of person you are. For a single family in Wanship, Hoytsville, Colville area, you're about 722. And for land, 154. Again, that's only based off of 1 closed sale. Again, I would expect to pay closer to 300 to 400K out here too, because again, land, it's country lifestyle. You're in a valley, lots of agricultural land out here, that type of thing. So that's only based off of 1 closed sale. So, and there are affordable pieces of land out there though. And if you're wanting a more detailed price breakdown of a specific neighborhood, a specific subdivision, a specific area, I've got all the details for you in these slides. Okay. So I can do it by single family home, by condo, by land. I just wanted to do a little update to get you guys familiar with what prices are actually happening in Park City. And from what I've seen, really it's slowing down a little bit, but the prices aren't dropping significantly. It's going to be, if you wait 6 months to a year to buy from now, you will be paying more down the line. It's just the absolute truth. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a real estate agent. I'm saying that because I've seen it happen on multiple developments. And when I have you as a client and I'm telling you, hey, the condo that you're just looking at over here at Mayflower Lakeside, yeah, this guy bought this for 700K and now he's turning around and selling it for 1.25. And you're going to go, ouch. I should have bought this 2 years ago. But it's okay because either you weren't ready, your life wasn't the right timing in your life, things, whatever it is. I think if you want to get the best price and you don't want to keep paying more and more and more, then now's the time to, start and serious about it.